The Golden State Warriors have built a roster that can easily contend, but with no margin for error. Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green are three of the best postseason players of their time, but question marks exist beyond that Hall of Fame trio. Thankfully for the Warriors, there's a veteran free agent who could instantly elevate the roster and simplify the game for Curry: Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon is a decorated player who has made 5 postseason appearances while playing major minutes. He won the 2022-23 Sixth Man of the Year award and took home Rookie of the Year honors in 2016-17. Unfortunately, injury-plagued 2023-24 and 2024-25 campaigns have relegated Brogdon to midsummer free agency. Thankfully for the Warriors, that could mean the door is wide open for a signing they should seriously consider. Brogdon has the skill set to act as an ideal complement and backup to Curry, and could potentially be signed for a minimal cost. The risks are unavoidable, but if the Warriors take a chance on Brogdon, it could pay dividends as they look to compete for a championship in 2025-26. Malcolm Brogdon could transform second unit, with obvious caveats. The unfortunate element of the Warriors potentially signing Brogdon is that they're limited in their financial flexibility. The one thing working against the veteran guard, however, may be Golden State's saving grace if the goal is to offer the veteran minimum. Brogdon has appeared in just 63 games over the past 2 seasons, due in no small part to the surgery he underwent to repair ligament damage in his right thumb ahead of the 2024-25 season. With this in mind, there's inevitable risk when it comes to bringing Brogdon to a team that's searching for stability along the second unit. The upside of such a signing, however, could be enough to elevate Golden State to a higher tier of contenders. When healthy, Brogdon is one of the most well-rounded guards in the NBA, possessing the ability to shoot the lights out, create consistent penetration, and facilitate at a starting caliber level. Furthermore, Brogdon boasts strong defensive instincts that would seemingly fit what the Warriors are attempting to build. It's unclear what type of defender he can still be at 32 years of age, let alone after spending so much time off the court over the past 2 years. The versatility that he's displayed when healthy, however, has made him a valuable contributor to postseason teams on both ends of the floor. When healthy, Malcolm Brogdon does it all. Despite the injuries he's endured, Brogdon remains one of the most patient and effective dribble penetrators in the NBA. He's averaged no fewer than 11.4 drives per game over the past 3 seasons, shooting no worse than 48.8% in such scenarios. Brogdon is also a career 38.8% shooter from beyond the arc, with 4 different seasons above 40% and a history of elite proficiency in catch-and-shoot situations. Brogdon shot 37.1% on catch-and-shoot threes in 2024-25, which is impressive considering he missed extensive time due to the aforementioned thumb surgery. He shot at least 44.2% on catch-and-shoot threes in 4 of the previous 6 seasons. With on- and off-ball value as a scorer, the Warriors could finally generate efficient production from a guard other than Curry and Brandon Podziemski. Brogdon also boasts career averages of 4.7 assists to 1.7 turnovers per game and 5.8 assists to 2.1 turnovers per 36 minutes. That responsible productivity as a passer would offer yet another layer of protection for Curry in regard to how he functions within the offense and the pressure that could be alleviated from him. It remains unclear if Brogdon would accept a minimum contract offer, but if the Warriors can come to terms with him, it would be a high-risk, high-reward signing at a minimal cost. Jonathan Kuminga says, "I'll bet on myself," after frustration with the Warriors' contract negotiations. Warriors give a behind-the-scenes with Steph Curry at the American Century Championship Celebrity Golf Tournament in Tahoe. NBA announces they will host 6 regular season games in Europe over the next 3 years starting next season. Jonathan Kuminga appears to be making his stance clear as contract negotiations with the Golden State Warriors remain at a standstill until late July. In an Instagram story posted Wednesday, Kuminga shared a photo of himself seated next to his agent, Aaron Turner, with the caption, "I'll bet on myself all day." The post comes amid reported frustrations over contract value, role clarity, and future control. Turner followed up with a message of his own, reinforcing the confidence Kuminga's camp has in the 22-year-old forward's value. According to a recent report from ESPN's Anthony Slater, Kuminga and his camp believe Golden State has failed to offer him a well-defined role through his first 4 seasons and has stunted and strung along his career. The Warriors' power forward is coming off a season in which he averaged 15.3 points for 0.6 rebounds and shot 45.4% from the field while his minutes fluctuated throughout the year. Golden State's most recent offer reportedly includes a 2-year, $45 million deal with a team option for the second season. Kuminga has declined the proposal, instead seeking a longer-term commitment and more control over his future. Unless the two sides can reach a deal, Kuminga may opt to play out the 2025-26 season on a 1-year, $8 million qualifying offer, a move that would make him an unrestricted free agent next summer. For now, the message is clear. Kuminga is betting on himself and not backing down. For more on this and other news around the NBA, here is our latest news roundup for Wednesday, July 30th. Warriors news. Sources: Jonathan Kuminga declining Warriors offer over terms. ESPN. The Warriors, sources said, believe they have the best offer on the table for Kuminga because of the highest starting salary, $21.7 million next season compared to $19.8 million elsewhere, and the 2-year team option concept. The deal is purposefully structured to be tradable come January 15th, and if Kuminga's ultimate desire is to play elsewhere, it would allow his next team to decline the team option and extend him. He would be the 4th highest paid player on the Warriors next season if he accepted the offer. NBA offseason grades: how every team fared before 2025-26 season. ESPN. Golden State Warriors. Grade: incomplete. Having merely added a pair of picks in the 50s, Will Richard and Alex Tui, the Warriors are impossible to evaluate until they figure out the status of restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. If Golden State indeed signs veteran center Al Horford and brings back guard DeAnthony Melton, as ESPN's Anthony Slater reported is possible, that would be a solid summer to build on last season's strong finish after the Jimmy Butler trade. For now, all of that remains on hold. What NBA voices think of Jonathan Kuminga's value as Warriors gridlock lingers. NBC Sports Bay Area. Can he reach his ceiling with the Warriors? Analyst. Probably not in Golden State's system.
Put him in a place like Portland.
Put him on a team that plays for out. The dude can get his own. Not too many guys in the league right now can go get their own bucket.
He can.
Just give him the ball and move out of the way, and he can do it. NBA news. The NBA bubble, 5 years later. The most exclusive basketball camp in world history, The Athletic. Morey. Had the Rockets won the title, I absolutely would have celebrated it as legitimate, knowing the immense effort and resilience required. Yet, everyone I speak to around the league privately agrees that it doesn't truly hold up as a genuine championship. Perhaps the lasting legacy of the NBA bubble is that the NBA should be proud of its leadership at both the beginning and end of the pandemic, even though the champion will forever be marked by an asterisk. Ranking the 10 best players in the East heading into 2025-26 NBA. 2. Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks. Back-to-back appointments to the All-NBA team certify him as one of the league's best point guards. He also earned some 2025 MVP votes and is the reigning clutch player of the year. What more evidence does he need? Brunson went from a second-round pick and a backup point guard in Dallas to a franchise player in just a few years. He's tricky with the dribble, a solid mid-range shooter, and of course a player who wants the last shot. He isn't a particularly willing passer in certain situations and doesn't create as much, just 5 APG in his career, as you want from a position designed to make teammates better. Yet where would the Knicks be without him? In case you missed it at Golden State of Mind. NBA free agent rumors. Suns have offered Jonathan Kuminga 4 years, $90 million. Kuminga and Turner have used July to explore their sign-and-trade options, Charania and Slater wrote. The most significant negotiations have been with the Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns, getting proposals up to 4 years approaching $90 million total, including a player option for the final season, sources said. Phoenix has made the most lucrative push via sign-and-trade. A few days ago, the Golden State Warriors reportedly made their demands clear in any trade for Jonathan Kuminga. They have a list of 3 demands from any team interested. They want a young player, a first-round pick, and no bad contracts in the potential deal. Following this, it was reported that teams like the Sacramento Kings, Chicago Bulls, and Phoenix Suns were in the race to get Jonathan Kuminga eventually. Now, sources have claimed that in the trade negotiations with the Kings, the Warriors have refused to show any interest in the six-time NBA All-Star DeMar DeRozan. According to Sam Amick, a senior writer with The Athletic, the Warriors reportedly don't want DeRozan or Devin Carter in a potential trade for Kuminga. He appeared on the Warriors Plus Minus podcast and gave the inside details on the negotiations. My understanding is the Warriors weren't interested in Carter or DeRozan. As of a couple of weeks ago, the Kings weren't willing to pay Kuminga into the $20 million range AAV. DeMar DeRozan is expected to earn $24,750,000 in the coming season, 2025-26, and $25,740,000 in the year after that. For the Warriors to be able to trade for DeRozan without giving up any further assets, they would have to forego the demand of a promising young player and still meet Kuminga's demands and offer him a contract in the region of $25 million per year. Thus, it can be assumed that the Warriors considered DeRozan a bad contract at this value or did not deem him as a sufficient return for trading away a promising young player like Kuminga. The 35-year-old former NBA All-Star is entering the 17th season of his NBA career. In a team like the Warriors, looking to go younger and not be over-reliant on veterans, it makes sense that they said no to DeRozan. DeRozan averaged 22.2 points, 4.4 assists, and 3.9 rebounds in the 2024-25 season. Nearing the fading end of his career, DeRozan is not a great long-term investment for the Warriors. But the question that arises here is, among the teams interested in Kuminga, is he the best offer the Warriors are going to get? The Warriors have reportedly only considered Ayo Dosunmu from the Bulls and reportedly liked none of the offers that were presented to them in the negotiations with either of the teams mentioned above. Jonathan Kuminga was also in no rush to accept any offers from the Warriors front office, who reportedly offered him a $20 million per year deal. It is becoming increasingly more likely that either Jonathan Kuminga will stay with the Warriors and wait until next season to become an unrestricted free agent, or the front offices of all these teams are preparing a massive deal that involves other primary restricted free agents like Josh Giddey and Cam Thomas.